Greetings, Lower Masters. Tonight, our chronicle delves into one of Tamriel's most sacred, and let's be honest, mechanically questionable, institutions, marriage. The Dragonborn stands in the Temple of Mara, the amulet heavy around their neck, its bronze glinting in the dim candlelight. The air smells of old stone, incense, and the faint coppery tang of desperation. Outside, Dragon's Circle, a civil war rages, and the world teeters on the brink of annihilation. But inside this quiet sanctum, the only concern is finding someone, anyone, to come home to, someone to cook a daily meal, and open up a little shop. Let's be honest, you probably wouldn't survive a trip to Riffin's Meadery without picking up at least 3 new, life-threatening bounties, so settling down sounds safe. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. We always love to see where the stories travel, so please post your location and local time in the comments below. Now, dim the lights. Maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. The Dragonborn, now properly adorned with the divine symbol of availability, steps out of the temple. The world is their oyster. But this is not a search for the noble, the brave, or even the remotely competent. This is a methodical process, and any good ranking must start at the very bottom, with the absolute, undisputed dregs of society. Our hero fast travels to Windhelm, the city of ice and bitter resentment, to find the man who holds the dubious honor of being rank number 37, Angrenor, once honored. He is not hard to find. He's usually huddled by the door of Candlehearth Hall, or perhaps taking refuge in the bleak, wind-swept alley known as the Beggar's Row. The Dragonborn approaches, and the first impression is aromatic, a bouquet of stale ale, unwashed linen, and the sour scent of perpetual grievance. Angrenor is a beggar, but he is not a humble one. He is the archetype of the bitter veteran. Core in-game fact: Angrenor is an ex-Stormcloak, a veteran of the Great War, who now spends his days begging for coin and venomously complaining about the Dunmer refugees living in the Grey Quarter. He is, in short, a miserable racist. His personality is a one-note dirge of self-pity and xenophobia. To win his heart, the Dragonborn need not perform a great deed, slay a dragon, or recover a lost relic. They need only to give him one single gold coin, 1 septim, the price of a potato. This transaction is, without a doubt, the most pathetic path to marriage in the entire game. The Dragonborn, clad in armor, forged from the bones of gods and dragons, drops a coin into his hand. Angrenor, seeing the amulet of Mara, is suddenly interested. The logic is staggering. This hero, this Thane, this savior of the world, is clearly desperate enough to marry the first beggar who notices their necklace. It's a bleak commentary on the Dragonborn's prospects. Obscure lore tidbit: his very name, once honored, is not just a name but a title of his fallen status. It's a constant, public reminder that he used to be someone. In Nord culture, where honor and reputation are paramount, this is a profound social degradation. He embodies the broken promise of the Stormcloak rebellion for the common man, fighting and bleeding for a cause, only to be left destitute and forgotten in the very city he fought to liberate. While Ulfric sits upon his throne just a few hundred feet away, the Dragonborn, perhaps in a fit of cruel experimentation, agrees to the union. The wedding is sparse. Maramol presides, and one imagines Angrenor muttering under his breath about the efficient's imperial sympathies. And then, in true horror, moves in. The Dragonborn may own the palatial Proudspire Manor in Solitude, or the sprawling Lakeview Manor by the water. Angrenor will stand in the middle of the trophy room, surrounded by Daedric artifacts and dragon skulls, and still complain. He brings nothing to the table, save for his bigotry and the 100 septim a day shop he mysteriously opens, which one must assume is just a more successful version of his begging route. Fan community debate. There is almost no debate here. Angrenor, Once Honored is consistently voted as the absolute worst husband in Skyrim. The only discussion is whether marrying him is sadder for the Dragonborn or for Angrenor himself, who clearly has no idea what he's just stumbled into. He is the bottom of the barrel. But the Dragonborn is not done scraping. They dust off the grime of Windhelm and travel to the gleaming capital of Solitude, seeking rank number 36, Octave San. If Angrenor is the bitter drunk, Octave is the sad drunk. The Dragonborn finds him in the Winking Skeever, where he is a permanent fixture. He is an old man, a Breton, whose best days are so far behind him, they might as well have happened in another era. He nursing his drink, sighing heavily, the air around him thick with the smell of regret and cheap wine. Core in-game fact: Octave San is a man defined by his debts. His primary dialogue consists of lamenting his poor choices, his age, and the money he owes to Ernska Ironhand. To gain his affection, the Dragonborn must not prove their valor, but their financial liquidity. They must pay off his debt. In essence, the Dragonborn is not wooing a partner, they are buying out a bar tab for a sad old man. He is perhaps a marginal step up from Angrenor, because his quest costs more than 1 gold coin, but the principle remains just as depressing. He too notices the amulet of Mara. "You're a brave one, wearing that," he might say, before realizing this is his ticket out of debt. He accepts the proposal with the weary resignation of a man who hasn't had good news in 30 years and doesn't trust this either. Obscure lore tidbit: while his first name is a common Breton one, his surname San is highly unusual in Tamriel. It doesn't align with common Breton, Imperial or Nord naming conventions. This has led to minor speculation. Is it a fragment of a longer Cyrodiilic name? A hint of forgotten Akaviri ancestry, now diluted into this pathetic, indebted man? More likely, it's just a marker of a family line that has, like Octave himself, completely faded into obscurity. He is the withered end of his lineage, and he knows it. When he moves in, he is just as lackluster as Angrenor, but without the malice. He simply totters around the house, a living ghost, occasionally remarking on his old age. He is the living embodiment of settling. His shop provides the standard 100 gold, but the Dragonborn can't help but feel they've just become the primary caretaker for a grumpy alcoholic grandfather they met in a bar. Feeling thoroughly uninspired, the Dragonborn makes one last stop on this tour of misery: Markarth, the city of stone and secrets, of oppression and dark depths. It is here, in the Silver Blood Inn, that they find rank number 35, Cosnark. Cosnark is, to put it plainly, a lout. He's a Breton, like Octave. But where Octave is wallowing in sad resignation, Cosnark is belligerent, loud, and perpetually looking for a drink or a fight. The Dragonborn approaches him, and the man immediately starts complaining. Core fact: Cosnark is supposedly a porter for the Arnliffe and Sons Trading Company, but he spends all his time in the inn drinking. He blames his unemployment on the Forsworn, claiming they've made the roads too dangerous. This is, of course, a convenient excuse. To win his heart, the Dragonborn must first challenge him to a brawl, and according to some reports, give him a drink first. It is a romance born from an alcohol-fueled fistfight. He is, at least, a potential follower, but this is a low bar. He's a mediocre warrior, capped at level 30, and his personality on the road is just as grating as it is in the inn. He is, in modern parlance, a complete deadbeat, mooching off the Silver Bloods and blaming the world for his problems. Obscure lore tidbit: the true depths of Cosnark's status are revealed, not in the inn, but by his home. He doesn't own a house. He doesn't even have a nice room. He lives in the Warrens. The Warrens are not just a poor district. They are a literal slum carved into the rock. A fetid, smoke-filled labyrinth of despair, where Markarth shoves its poorest labourers, its skooma addicts, and its sick. The air is thick with smelter fumes and the stench of human misery. This is Kosnar's home. Marrying him isn't just an act of desperation. It's a reclamation project, fan community debate. The great debate among players is who is worse, the racist Angrenor or the loutish Kosnarsh. Angrenor is politically vile, but Kosnarsh is personally obnoxious. He's the kind of husband who would drink all your Honningbrew mead and then pick a fight with your housecarl. The Dragonborn looks at these three men, the hateful beggar, the indebted elder, and the belligerent drunk, and shudders. The amulet of Mara feels a little colder. The quest for a partner has begun, and the only possible direction from here is up. The Dragonborn takes a steadying breath, the chill Markarth air doing little to clear their head. The quest for a partner must continue. If the absolute bottom of the barrel consists of those who beg, borrow, and brawl, the next tier up must be, well, those who are at least gainfully employed, however miserably, shaking the grime of the warrens from their boots. The hero travels to the relative comfort of Whiterun, to the hall of the companions. Jorvaskra is warm, the air thick with the scent of roasting meat, ancient wood, and the slightly sour tang of spilled mead. It is a place of heroes, of legends, and it is also the home of rank number 34, Torvar. He is not difficult to spot. While Vilkas pores over a book and Alala sharpens her bow, Torvar is usually leaning against a pillar, tankard in hand, already half sloshed before noon. He is a companion. Yes, he has taken the oath, drunk the blood, and accepted the beast. But where this ritual instills a sense of primal power in some, in Torvar, it seems to have merely amplified his inner lout. He is, essentially, Kosnar, with a better resume. Core in-game fact: Torvar is a member of the elite companions, and as such, the Dragonborn cannot even begin a romance with him until they have completed the entire companion's questline and become the Harbinger. This is, perhaps, the single greatest disparity between effort and reward in the entire game. The Dragonborn must slay the Glenmoril witches, cleanse Kodlak's spirit, and accept leadership of the most respected warrior guild in Skyrim, all for the privilege of marrying a surly drunk who seems perpetually unimpressed. The Dragonborn, now the Harbinger, approaches him. Torvar, seeing the amulet of Mara, doesn't so much express interest as mild, drunken surprise. "You're wearing that? Really?" His proposal is likely slurred, a mumbled, "Why not?" that seals the pact. As a husband, he is a marginal improvement on Kosnar, only because he lives in a nicer building. When he moves into the Dragonborn's home, he brings his drinking habit with him, but at least he's a certified werewolf. This is a small comfort. It's like marrying a frat boy who also happens to be a supernatural killing machine, though. Let's be honest. He's far more likely to just pass out in your trophy room. Obscure lore tidbit: the true measure of Torvar's inadequacy is in his stats. Despite being a member of the Companions, a group of supposedly elite warriors, Torvar has a remarkably low-level cap of 25. This makes him mechanically one of the weakest followers available from the guild, far outclassed by Alayla, Vilkas, or even the lower-ranked Njada. He talks a big game, but when faced with a dragon priest or a high-level Draga, he has all the combat effectiveness of a wet piece of bread. Fan community debate. The main discussion around Torvar is simply why. Why does he exist as a marriage option? Some speculate he was meant to be a more fleshed-out, lovable rogue character, but the development time ran out, leaving only the rogue part. Others theorize he's a deliberate joke by the developers, a trap for the desperate Dragonborn who wants to marry anyone in the Companions and just picks the first one available after the questline ends, leaving Torvar to his mead. The Dragonborn feels a familiar pull. The journey for a partner seems inexplicably tied to the city of Markarth. They return, the oppressive stone walls feeling like a second home, a very dysfunctional, dangerous home. But this time, they are not headed to the inn or the warrens. They are headed to the smelter to find rank number 33, Omlug. The air here is hellish. The heat from the forge is a physical blow, and the air is a toxic soup of soot, metallic fumes, and sweat. And in the middle of it all stands Omlug, a Breton whose face is permanently stained with grime. He is the walking dead, a man slowly being poisoned by his own occupation. He is, however, a step up. He isn't a drunk, a beggar, or a lout. He's just a victim. Core in-game fact: Omlug is a smelter worker who, along with his fellow labourers, is ruthlessly exploited by their orcish taskmaster Mulush Groshugurs. They are forced to live in the toxic, cramped misery of the Warrens. Yes, Koznar's lovely home. To win Omlug's heart, the Dragonborn must engage in a bit of workplace mediation. They must convince Mulush, either through persuasion, intimidation, or a brawl, to treat his workers with a shred of dignity. The Dragonborn, fresh from negotiating peace in a civil war, finds this task trivial. They return to Omlug with the good news. The Breton is so overwhelmed with gratitude that he immediately sees the amulet of Mara. It's a romance born not of passion, but of desperation and a sudden improvement in working conditions. Marrying him is an act of charity. The Dragonborn is essentially rescuing him from the smelter. When he moves in, Omlug is quiet. He is profoundly, deeply boring. His days are spent wandering the house, marveling at the fact that the air isn't actively killing him. He is grateful, yes, but he has all the personality of a soot-covered rock. He's the ultimate fixer-upper husband, and the Dragonborn has to accept that the fixing part mostly involves letting him breathe clean air for the first time in decades. His shop opens, of course, and one assumes he sells artisanal charcoal, slightly used pickaxes, obscure lore tidbit. Omlug is a tragic symbol of the Breton diaspora in Skyrim. Bretons are known for their innate magical talent. It is in their very blood, a gift from their Aldmeri ancestors. Yet Omlug, like many Bretons in the harsh, Nord-dominated city of Marcurio, has been ground down into manual labour. He shows no magical aptitude, no hint of his people's heritage. He is a man completely disconnected from his own culture, reduced to a cog in the silver blood mining machine. The Dragonborn decides they need to get out of the city. The oppressive stone and toxic air are becoming too much. They travel east, out into the rocky expanse of the Reach, towards a place called Soljan's Sinkhole. Here, standing nervously by the entrance to a Draga-infested mine, is rank number 32, Perth. Perth is, bless his heart, another Breton miner. It seems the Dragonborn has a type, and that type is sad, working-class Breton. Perth, however, is a slight improvement on Omlug. He's not dying of lung disease, and he's not living in a slum. He's a foreman, a man with some level of responsibility. His problem is simple. His mine has been overrun by Draga. Core in-game fact: to marry Perth, the Dragonborn must simply do what they do best: delve into a dark hole and kill everything that moves. They are tasked with clearing Soljan's Sinkhole of its undead menace. It's a straightforward pest control job. The Dragonborn descends into the dark, the familiar groans of Draga echoing from the tunnels. They clear the infestation, dispatching the Draga Deathlord at the bottom, and return to a profoundly grateful Perth. Like Omlug, Perth's gratitude immediately blossoms into romantic interest upon seeing the amulet of Mara. He's ready to wed. He's a simple man. He had a Draga problem. You solved it. Now he has a loneliness problem. Maybe you can solve that too. Marrying him is practical. He's not a drunk. He's not a beggar. He's not a racist. He's just a guy who owned a mine that happened to be built on top of an ancient tomb. A minor oversight, really. Obscure lore tidbit. The mine's story is told in a small note, the miner's lament. It reveals that the miners, under Perth's supervision, broke through a wall and found a sealed tomb which they promptly decided to explore. This means Perth isn't just an unlucky foreman. He's the man who was in charge when his crew got greedy, broke into a clearly marked crypt, and unleashed an undead horror. His entire workforce was likely killed due to his poor judgment. He's not just a fixer-upper, he's a man with a significant workplace safety violation on his record. Fan community debate. This leads to a small but persistent debate. Is Perth an idiot, or just greedy too? Did he genuinely not know what a sealed Nord tomb meant? Or was he, like so many adventurers, hoping to find treasure and just got his entire crew slaughtered in the process? The Dragonborn stands with Perth, the amulet of Mara, feeling slightly less like a burden. These men, Torvar Omlawag and Perth, are not good, but they are not actively terrible. They are the project husbands. They are the ones you marry out of pity, or because you just finished their quest and thought, well, I'm already here. The standards are rising, ever so slightly. The Dragonborn sighs, the dust of Soljun's sinkhole still clinging to their Daedric armor. This grand quest for a partner is rapidly becoming a bleak tour of Skyrim's most hazardous and underpaid labor sectors. The amulet of Mara, it seems, does not signal hero of destiny so much as desperate for a fixer-upper, resigning themselves to this new role as the patron saint of the working poor. The hero fast travels to the misty, perpetually damp camp of Darkwater Crossing in Eastmarch. Here, standing near the Golden Rock mine entrance, is rank number 31, Saunders Drenham. Saunders is a Dunmer, a dark elf, and like many of his people in Skyrim, he looks tired. He is worn down by the cold, the damp, and the palpable resentment of the local Nords. He is, however, an improvement on the previous candidates. He isn't a drunk, he doesn't live in a slum, and he isn't responsible for unleashing an undead horde upon his co-workers. He's just a guy, a nervous, hard-working guy. Core in-game fact: Saunders Drenham is the foreman of Golden Rock Mine. His primary concern is the escalating civil war. The mine is perilously close to Fort Armel, and he's worried that whichever faction controls it will come down to liberate his mine, which is to say, steal his ore and conscript his workers. His quest is the very definition of a low-stakes errand. He asks the Dragonborn to deliver a letter to the Jarl of Eastmarch, pleading for more guards. He's too scared to go himself. The Dragonborn, who just last week was likely negotiating the White Gold Concordat with General Tullius, is now reduced to being a postal worker for a nervous miner. Upon their return, Saunders is profoundly grateful. The hero, having successfully walked a letter up the road, is now in Saunders's eyes a prime candidate for marriage. He sees the amulet of Mara, and his gratitude quickly turns to romantic interest. It is, like the others, a romance of convenience and profound relief on his part. As a husband, Saunders is fine. He is perfectly, harmlessly, and unforgettably fine. He is the beige of Skyrim husbands. He will move into Lakeview Manor, stand among the dragon skulls and enchanted artifacts, and comment on how nice it is to be out of the damp. He is grateful. He is polite. He is utterly devoid of personality. His 100 gold a day shop is probably the most interesting thing about him, and one must assume he sells slightly damp iron ore. Or perhaps he's cornered the market on glowing mushrooms. Obscure lore tidbit: Saunders' surname, Drenham, is not just a random collection of Dunmurray-sounding syllables. The Drenham clan is a minor house in Morrowind, one known to be associated with House Halalu, with House Halalu being stripped of its great house status after the Oblivion Crisis, and losing its political power. A member of a Halalu-affiliated family line, ending up as a lowly, anxious mine foreman in the backwaters of Eastmarch, makes perfect, tragic sense. He is the descendant of a fallen house, reduced to begging for help in a foreign, hostile land. The Dragonborn pats Saunders on the head, leaves him to his quiet, inoffensive life, and feels the pull once more. The invisible thread of spousal destiny is tugging them, with a sense of grim inevitability, back to Markarth. A weary groan escapes the Dragonborn, the city of stone and silver, of blood and conspiracy. This time, Their destination is the left-hand mine, just outside the city gates. Here they find a package deal, a veritable 2-for-1 of marital mediocrity. Ranks 30 and 29. Pavo Atius and Gat Gro Shargach. Pavo is an imperial. Gat is an orc. They are miners, and they have a problem. They are, essentially, a slightly more proactive version of Perth. Their mine, Kalskog, wasn't infested by Draga, it was overrun by the Forsworn. The two of them are the only survivors, and they are now refugees at the left-hand mine, desperate to reclaim their livelihood. Core in-game fact. This is not a simple pest control job. The Forsworn have taken Kalskoga in force, including a powerful Briarheart. Pavo asks the Dragonborn for help, and unlike Perth, he and Gat actually come along for the fight. The Dragonborn Pavo and Gat form a small, slightly ragtag fire team and charge into the mine. It's a proper bloody battle. They clear the mine, slay the Briarheart, and secure the richest gold mine in the Reach. It is a moment of genuine camaraderie. The Dragonborn Pavo and Gat stand panting amidst the carnage, victorious. And then, the awkward part, this shared battle, this reclaiming of their home, makes both men instantly available for marriage. The Dragonborn, wearing the Amulet of Mara, is suddenly faced with an on-the-spot choice. It is perhaps the most awkward romantic situation in the game. It's like the final rose ceremony in some brutal, post-apocalyptic dating show. Pavo, Gat, you both fought bravely, but only one of you will receive this Amulet of Mara. Let's break them down. At rank 30, we have Pavo Atius. He's the Imperial, the de facto leader of their tiny two-man operation. He's fine. He's an Imperial, which means his voice acting is generic, and his personality is that of a slightly stressed middle manager. He is grateful, certainly. Marrying him feels like a business decision. He's stable. He's got a job, now. He will not be interesting, but he will probably be reliable. He is a sensible, boring choice. And then, at rank 29, we have Gat Gro Shargach. He is an orc. This immediately makes him more interesting than Pavo. He's one of the few orcs who can be married outside of the strongholds, free from the cultural baggage of Malakath and the Forges. He's Pavo's muscle, the loyal heavy. He's gruff. His voice has that pleasant orcish gravel, and he seems a bit more worldly than his stronghold-bound brethren. He's a slight improvement on Pavo, if only for the novelty. Fan community debate. The most significant community discussion around these two isn't about which one to marry, it's about their relationship with each other. Here are two single men, an Imperial and an Orc, who live and work together, survived a horrific massacre together, and plan to run a mine together, just the two of them, in the remote wilderness. The subtext is potent. Many players subscribe to the theory that Pavo and Gat are already a couple, and the Dragonborn, in their infinite blundering arrogance, is not a suitor, but a homewrecker. They are breaking up a perfectly happy gold mining couple. Obscure lore tidbit. The enemy they face is key. The Forsworn who took Kolskig aren't just random bandits. The presence of a Briarheart means this was a high-level, organized military assault. A Briarheart is a warrior whose heart has been ritually cut out and replaced with a Briarheart, a dark, magical focus of immense power. This ritual is part of the Forsworn's pact with the Hagravans. The fact that this mine was taken by such a powerful force, and that Pavo and Gat survived it, suggests they are either incredibly lucky or far more resourceful than their stats. Both are capped at level 20, would suggest. The Dragonborn looks between the two of them, the stressed Imperial and the gruff Orc. They are a team. They are fine. They are the last of the grateful worker tier. They are men defined entirely by their jobs and the one quest you do for them. Once married, their personalities evaporate, leaving only the shell of a miner who now, inexplicably, runs a general store from your living room. The Dragonborn decides to leave them to their mine, and perhaps to each other. The standards must rise. The Dragonborn feels a deep, existential weariness. They have become the unofficial champion of the oppressed miner. Pavo and Gat are left to their shared life of gold and friendship, and the hero decides to raise their standards. No more mines, no more grime, no more men whose entire personality is grateful to have a job that isn't actively killing me. The next tier must be those who have at least graduated from primary resource extraction to the slightly more respectable service industry. The Dragonborn fast travels to Kynesgrove, a small village huddled around a mine, but this time, they are not here for the ore. They are here for rank number 28, Roggy Notbeard. He is found, as he often is, either in the Steam-Scorch mine, a brief relapse into the Dragonborn's old habits, or more likely, in the Braidwood Inn, nursing a drink. Roggy is sweet. There is no other word for him. He is a Nord, but he lacks the typical bravado. He is bearded, but his demeanor is soft. He is a man with a kind face, a gentle voice, and a truly impressive number of personal problems. Core in-game fact: Roggy is a man defined by his failures, but he's so darn nice about them. He's an ancestral miner, but a poor one. He's a drinker, but not a belligerent one. His marriage quest is twofold. He's in debt to Talon J in Riften for an expensive bar tab, and he's also managed to lose his priceless family heirloom, Roggy's shield, in a Draugr-infested tomb. To win his heart, the Dragonborn must settle his debts, and, more importantly, retrieve his shield. It's a quest that solidifies the Dragonborn's role as a fixer, but this time, it's not for a stranger, but for this gentle, somewhat pathetic man. He is overjoyed when the shield is returned, his gratitude palpable. He's so wholesome in his thanks, so genuine, that when he notices the amulet of Mara, his proposal feels less like the others. It's not born of desperation or awe. It feels shy. It's the first one that might actually be romantic. Obscure lore tidbit: his name, Notbeard, is not just a description of his facial hair. It's an ancient and once revered Nord name. The in-game Book of Fury and Holger mentions a Roggy Notbeard, who was a contemporary of the bard Svafnir and a companion to Jarl Holger of Whiterun. This implies that our Roggy is the descendant of a proud, heroic lineage, one that has, over the centuries, declined into this sweet, debt-ridden, shield-losing man. He is the gentle, diluted end of a warrior's bloodline. As a husband, he is pure, unfiltered sweetness. He moves in and is just happy to be there. He is the first husband who feels genuinely lucky to be with the Dragonborn. He's the fantasy equivalent of marrying the nice guy who can't believe his luck. Fan community debate: is Roggy's sweet sad sack persona genuine, or is he a masterful con artist? He is, after all, a functioning alcoholic who is terrible with money and loses a valuable heirloom in a place he knows is dangerous. Some players find him to be the most endearing, wholesome partner. Others see him as a walking red flag, a man-child who uses his disarming charm to get the powerful Dragonborn to clean up all his messes. Feeling a bit of a sugar rush from Roggy's wholesomeness, the Dragonborn decides to continue this trend of men who run things. They travel to the misty, quaint town of Iverstead, nestled at the foot of the 7,000 steps. Their destination, the Vilemere Inn, and its proprietor, rank number 27, Wilhelm. Wilhelm is a man under siege. He is an innkeeper, a solid, respectable profession. But his inn has a ghost, a very loud, very aggressive ghost that is scaring away all his customers. He is a man on the brink of supernatural bankruptcy. Core in-game fact: Wilhelm's quest requires the Dragonborn to solve his haunting problem. He believes the ghost is that of the barrow's former occupant, but he's too afraid to investigate. The Dragonborn, for whom a haunted barrow is basically a Tuesday afternoon, agrees to help. They descend into Shroud Hearth Barrow, which is, of course, full of Draugr. But the ghost is something stranger. It's the spirit of an adventurer named Wendelius, who, according to his journal, went mad in the tomb, became obsessed with the treasure, and started haunting the place himself to scare off others. The Dragonborn dispatches this lunatic, and the haunting stops. Wilhelm is immensely relieved. His business is saved. He's so relieved, in fact, that he's ready for marriage. He sees the amulet of Mara, and in a fit of post-ghost busting euphoria, proposes. He is, above all, a practical man. He had a ghost. You killed it. Now he needs a spouse. You're standing right there. It makes sense.
Obscure lore tidbit. Wilhelm is one of the very few innkeepers in the game who is marked as essential before his quest is completed. This is a game design necessity, but it paints a hilarious picture. This man is so deeply enmeshed in his ghost problem that not even a dragon attack, a vampire raid, or a poorly aimed fireball from the Dragonborn can kill him. He is bound to Tamriel by the sheer unyielding stress of his mortgage. He is, in essence, unkillable due to anxiety. As a husband, Wilhelm is an innkeeper. He's stable. He's got a steady job. He's not going to run off and lose the family shield. He is, however, a bit bland. He's the sensible choice. He's the 401k of Skyrim husbands. Fan community debate. The real mystery of the Vilemirin isn't the ghost. It's the bard, Linley Starsung. An in-game book, The Spotted Netch, reveals that Linley is actually the long-lost daughter of a wealthy merchant. The debate is, does Wilhelm know? Is he knowingly harboring a fugitive from a wealthy family? Is he protecting her? Or is he, as his rather milquetoast personality suggests, completely oblivious, just happy to have a bard who shows up on time? The Dragonborn is feeling sensible. Roggy is sweet. Wilhelm is stable. But sensible is beginning to grate. They crave someone with a bit of flair, a bit of attitude. They travel to the capital, Solitude, to the Winking Skeever, to find rank number 26, Sorex Vinius. Sorex is pretty. He's the son of the owner, Corpulus Vinius. Where Corpulus is a grizzled old Imperial Legion veteran, Sorex is the second generation. He's soft, a bit lazy, and coasting on the family name. He's leaning against the counter, looking like he's never done a hard day's work in his life. Core in-game fact, Sorex's quest is barely a quest at all. It's an errand. He wants to curry favor with the Jarl's court, specifically with Folk Firebeard. To do this, he wants to send a bottle of Strosmerkai rum to the castle. But he is, by his own admission, too busy lazy to do it himself. He asks the Dragonborn, the literal savior of the world, to be his delivery person. The Dragonborn, in a fit of bemused compliance, agrees to run the bottle up the hill. Upon their return, Sorex is thrilled. The Dragonborn has successfully completed a task a child could have managed. This, to Sorex, is grounds for marriage. He sees the amulet of Mara, and perhaps seeing a chance to really get in good with the Jarl's court, he proposes. After all, what's a better social move than marrying the Thane? Obscure lore tidbit. Marrying Sorex Vinius is one of the only ways in the game to acquire a child by marriage. His younger sister, Minette, lives in the inn. While she doesn't function as an adopted child, she doesn't move in with you. She does become the Dragonborn's sister-in-law. This adds a layer of domesticity that is almost entirely absent from other marriages. You're not just marrying Sorex, you're marrying into the Vinius family, with all its lazy second-generation social climbing glory. Fan community debate. Is Sorex a harmless, vapid, pretty boy, or is he a calculating social climber? His entire quest is about networking. His interest in the Dragonborn, who is often the Thane of Solitude by the time they meet, seems convenient. Is he genuinely smitten, or is this the ultimate power move, marrying the Dragonborn to solidify his family's position in the capital? The Dragonborn considers these three: the sweet man-child, the anxious innkeeper, and the lazy socialite. It is, without a doubt, a step up from the mines. They have businesses, they have indoor plumbing. But as the Dragonborn looks at Sorex, they realize that stable might just be another word for boring. The Dragonborn leans against the polished bar of the winking skeever, the faint scent of Sorex's expensive rum still on their hands. These men of the service industry, they are an improvement. They are stable, they are employed, and they are, for the most part, not actively living in squalor. But as the hero drains their tankard of mead, they feel a new, more refined standard emerging. Stability is fine, but what about ambition? What about property? A business is one thing, but to own the land, to own the resource, that is true power. The quest for a partner evolves. The Dragonborn is no longer a fixer-upper, but an angel investor. They are looking for a proprietor. This new resolve sends them once again to the dreaded Reach, but not to the slums of Markarth. They are headed to the mining settlement of Karthwasten. Here, they find a man in the midst of a hostile takeover. This is rank number 25, Einar Thak. Einar Thak is a Breton, but he is no Omlog, no Perth. He is not a labourer, he is an owner. He is the proprietor of the Sanurek mine, and he is standing outside it, looking furious. A group of silver blood mercenaries has occupied his mine, claiming they have a deed. Einar Thak is adamant that the deed is fake, but he is a businessman, not a warrior. Core, in-game fact. Einar Thak's quest is a conflict of property law, solved with violence. He asks the Dragonborn to clear the mercenaries out of his mine. The Dragonborn, for whom clearing out a mine is a basic reflex, agrees. Inside, they are confronted by the mercenary leader, Atar, who offers to sell the mine to the Dragonborn. The player has a choice: side with the Silver Bloods, or honor their agreement with Einar Thak. To marry him, the Dragonborn must, of course, side with Einar Thak, dispatching the mercenaries and returning the mine to its rightful owner. This is a profound step up. The Dragonborn isn't just doing a favor, they are arbitrating a high-stakes business dispute. When they return to Einar Thak, the man's relief is mixed with a newfound respect. He sees the amulet of Mara, and the proposal that follows feels less like a desperate plea and more like a merger. You are a person of action and honor. I like that. We could be good partners. As a husband, Einar Thak is solid. He's a businessman. He's wealthy. He's a mine owner. He moves into your home and continues to be a pragmatic, somewhat dry, but ultimately reliable partner. He is, perhaps, the first husband on this list who feels like an equal, at least in financial standing. He's the husband you marry for a good credit score. Obscure lore tidbit. The mine itself, Sanurek Mine, is named after Einar Thak's daughter. This is a detail he mentions in passing. However, his daughter Sanurek is nowhere to be found. She is not in Karthwasten, not in Markarth, not anywhere in the game. This small, sad detail adds a layer of quiet tragedy to Einar Thak. Is he a widower? Is his daughter grown and gone? Or did something happen to her? He is a man of property and wealth, but he is also, it seems, a man alone, naming his legacy after someone who isn't there to share it. The Dragonborn respects Einar Thak's ambition, but the whole affair felt a bit transactional. They crave something, perhaps a bit more artisanal. This leads them to the humble spider-infested town of Shaw's Stone in the Rift. Here, by the heat of the forge, is rank number 24, Filmjar. Filmjar is the town's blacksmith. He is a Nord, but he lacks the boisterousness of a companion's warrior, or the jolly mercantile spirit of a Whiterun smith. He is quiet. He is a man of simple, focused industry. And like everyone else, the Dragonborn seems to meet. He has a problem. Core in-game fact. Filmjar's quest is mine or yours. The Redbelly mine, the lifeblood of Shaw's Stone, has been overrun by giant frostbite spiders. But the miners, including the lovely Silja, a future bachelorette, are too terrified to enter. Filmjar, a blacksmith, and not an exterminator, asks the Dragonborn to clear them out. It's another pest control job, but this time, it's for the good of an entire community. The Dragonborn delves, kills the venomous arachnids, and returns to Filnjar's quiet thanks. He too sees the amulet of Mara. His proposal is as simple and unadorned as his work. You helped this town. You're strong. I'm interested, if you are. Marrying him is like Wilhelm, a sensible choice. He is a skilled craftsman. He owns his own forge. He is a pillar of his community. But he is profoundly bland. He is the blacksmith equivalent of Saunders Drennan. He's the we have Balamund at home option. He's not a bad man. He's just the iron dagger of husbands. Functional, but you'll replace him as soon as you find something better. Obscure lore tidbit. Shaw's Stone is a town perpetually on the brink of collapse. It's named after the god Shaw, the Nord aspect of Lorcan, the dead god whose heart was ripped out. The town reflects this. Its mine is full of spiders, its people are jumpy, and it is a prime target for dragon attacks. The in-game book, Chora's Pie, a recipe mentions Shaw's Stone, but not in a flattering light. Filnjar isn't just a simple blacksmith. He's the man trying to forge weapons for a town that is, by its very name and location, cursed. Fan community debate. A small but interesting debate revolves around Filnjar and Silja. He sends the Dragonborn in to save the mine she works in. Players have often wondered if there's an unrequited, unspoken affection there. Is he too shy to pursue her? Is he secretly in love with her? And is the Dragonborn, by marrying him, stepping into the middle of a very quiet, very Nord-like romantic tragedy? The Dragonborn looks at Filnjar, hammering away at his anvil. He is good. He is stable. He is dull. The hero needs passion, principle, someone who isn't just running a business, but fighting for a cause. This desire for moral substance leads them back to the grim, icy city of Windhelm, but not to the palaces, to the docks, to the Argonian assemblage. Here, in the cold, damp squalor, where Elfric shoves his city's undesirables, they find rank number 23, Scouts Many Marshes. He is an Argonian, one of the few playable beast races, who is also a marriage candidate. He is a dock worker, yes, but he is not like the other labourers. He is not a beaten-down Saunders or a self-pitying Omlueg. He is an activist. He is a community organiser, deeply concerned with the welfare of his fellow Argonians, who are being cruelly exploited by their Nord bosses. Core in-game fact: Scouts Many Marshes' quest is one of social justice. He tells the Dragonborn that he and his fellow Argonians are being horribly underpaid by the dock manager, Torbjorn Shattershield. He asks the Dragonborn, an outsider with a bit of influence, to speak on their behalf. This is a quest that requires no dungeon delving, no violence. It requires a single, pointed conversation. The Dragonborn must go to Torbjorn and persuade, intimidate, or if they're feeling saucy, brawl with him to get fair wages for the Argonians. When the Dragonborn returns, having successfully negotiated a pay raise, Scouts is not just grateful, he is impressed. You used your power not for personal gain, but to help the downtrodden. This, to him, is the ultimate attractive quality. He sees the amulet of Mara and proposes with a genuine heartfelt warmth that has been lacking in almost everyone else. Obscure lore tidbit. The Argonian assemblage, where Scouts and the others live, is not just a poor hovel, it's a trap. It's owned by the East Empire Company, not the city of Windhelm. This means the Argonians living there are not even citizens. They are indentured workers, living in a company-owned bunkhouse on company-owned land, with no rights or recourse. Scouts Many Marshes isn't just asking for a raise, he's the leader of a nascent labour movement in a city that would just as soon see him executed for sedition. Fan community debate. This is one of the biggest debates surrounding any spouse. Scouts Many Marshes is a man of the people, a revolutionary. So, what happens when you marry him? He happily abandons the assemblage, abandons his people, moves into your sprawling, aristocratic manor, and opens a general store. He completely and utterly sells out. Is he a hypocrite? Or is the Dragonborn's love the only way he can escape the systemic oppression of Windhelm? Is it a betrayal of his cause, or the ultimate victory, allowing one of their own to finally achieve a life of safety and luxury? The Dragonborn looks at this Argonian, a man of principle and warmth, and feels conflicted. He is by far the most noble of the lower-tier husbands, but in marrying him, do you save him, or do you neuter him? The journey is getting complicated. The Dragonborn stands on the cold, wet docks of Windhelm, the earnest, revolutionary zeal of Scout's many marshes fading into the mist. He is a good lizard, a noble soul, but his earnestness is in its own way as exhausting as the miner's desperation. The hero is tired of being a savior, a fixer, and a labor negotiator. Perhaps it's time to try a different vintage of partner. Perhaps it's time to find someone who isn't defined by their victimhood, but by their assertiveness. Even if that assertiveness is deeply, deeply questionable, it is time, the Dragonborn decides, to explore the brutes and the thieves. This new, slightly less noble quest leads them to the fog-shrouded, gloomy marsh town of Morthal. And here, usually found bragging in the Moorside Inn, or standing aimlessly near the guardhouse, is rank number 22. Binor is a Nord, and he is the physical embodiment of a boast. He is large, he is loud, and he wants everyone to know that he is the toughest man in Herjal March. He's the local strongman, the town's self-proclaimed protector, though he seems to spend more time talking about his strength than actually using it. He approaches the Dragonborn not with a problem, but with a challenge. Core in-game fact. Benor's path to marriage is a straight line, drawn with a fist. He is a braggart, and the only way to earn his respect is to humble him. The Dragonborn, who has by this point wrestled dragons out of the sky and punched Daedric princes in the face, is invited to a simple brawl. Benor cracks his knuckles, the townsfolk gather, and the fight is over in about 3 seconds. The Dragonborn, barely breaking a sweat, dusts off their hands. Benor, picking himself up off the ground, is not angry. He is impressed. This brutal public humiliation is to him the height of courtship. He sees the amulet of Mara, and his proposal is as blunt as his combat style. I'm strong, you're stronger, we'd make good whelps. It's primal. Marrying Benor is marrying the high school jock who you had to beat up to get his attention. He is at least a follower, though he's capped at a mediocre level 30. He will follow the Dragonborn into battle, shouting about his own prowess. A loyal, if somewhat dim, guard dog, obscure Lord Tidbit, for all his talk of strength and his posturing as Morthal's protector. Benor is a man of no property. He has no house. He doesn't even rent a room at the inn. His home is a bedroll in the Morthal guardhouse. He is essentially the town's resident tough guy who sleeps at his self-appointed workplace. His entire identity is a performance, a shield of bravado to hide the fact that he's just another landless, swaggering Nord. Fan community debate. The central debate surrounding Binor is simple. Is he a lovable himbo, a simple-minded but loyal brute whose boasting is just part of his charm? Or is he, as many suspect, one of the most intensely annoying followers in the game, a loud-mouthed, arrogant blowhard whose only redeeming quality is that he's there. He is the husband for the Dragonborn, who wants a partner who doubles as a slightly obnoxious, two-handed piece of furniture. The Dragonborn leaves Binor to his boasting. The brute was straightforward, but he lacked subtlety. He lacked panache. If the hero was going to consort with the less than reputable, they could at least find someone with a bit of style. This, inevitably, leads them to Riften, the city of canals, rats, and opportunity. In the shadowed alleys, or perhaps complaining about his boss in the Blackbriar Meadery, they find rank number 21, Romlin Dreth. Romlin is a Dunmer, and he is a criminal. But he's not a thug like Benor. He's a rogue. He's a small-time smuggler, a con artist with a silver tongue, and a deep, burning hatred for Maven Blackbriar. He's got a chip on his shoulder, and a plan. He is, in short, interesting. Core in-game fact: Romlin's quest is one of petty crime. He has a plan to undercut the Blackbriar monopoly by stealing a cask of their rare, high-quality mead and smuggling it to Wilhelm, the innkeeper in Ivarstead, our old ghost-bothered friend from Section 4. To win Romlin's heart, the Dragonborn must become his accomplice. They must take the mead, which he has hidden in a barrel right behind the meadery, and deliver it. It's a simple fetch quest, but this time, it's explicitly illegal. The Dragonborn, for whom the Thieves' Guild is a potential career path, finds this a refreshing change of pace. They deliver the contraband and return for their cut. Romlin is delighted. He's found a partner in crime, someone as willing to stick it to the Blackbriars as he is. He sees the amulet of Mara, and his proposal is smooth, confident, and just a little bit sleazy. We make a good team. Maybe we should make it permanent. Obscure lore tidbit: the Dreth name is not a new one in Tamriel. Fans of the Elder Scrolls IV: Oblivion will remember their very first interaction in the Imperial prison was with a Dunmer named Valen Dreth. This Valen was the prisoner in the opposing cell who relentlessly mocked the player character, hurling insults until the Emperor arrived. The Dreth name, it seems, carries a long, proud lineage of being arrogant, antagonistic, and generally memorable jerks. Romlin, with his smarmy charm and criminal enterprise, fits the family mold perfectly. Fanned community debate: is Romlin Dreth a true bad boy with a heart of gold, or just a common crook? This is his central debate. On the one hand, he's a criminal. He's untrustworthy by nature. But on the other, as a husband, he is shockingly sweet. He's one of the few spouses with unique, affectionate dialogue, calling the Dragonborn love and fawning over them in a way that feels far more genuine than the generic lines of a Benor or a Filnjar. He's a rogue, yes, but he seems to be a devoted rogue. The Dragonborn considers the two: Benor, the simple, oafish brute; Romlin, the charming, silver-tongued thief. Both are a step away from the mundane world of mining and innkeeping. They have their own lives, their own questionable ambitions, and they are not projects to be fixed, but forces to be reckoned with. And for a hero tired of being a glorified social worker, that is a very attractive quality. The Dragonborn stands in the chilly, canal-lined streets of Riften, the ghost of Romlin Dreth's smarmy proposal still hanging in the air. The rogue was tempting, but a life built on smuggled mead is a life built on a sticky, precarious foundation. The brute, Benor, was even less appealing. A partner who requires a fistfight as a greeting is likely to be high maintenance in other areas. The hero decides to pivot. They are done with the brawny and the crooked. It is time to seek out the diligent, the craftsmen, the men who are not just working, but are apprentices to a greater trade, men who are learning, building, and most importantly, inheriting. This new quest for a man with a future leads them, inevitably, back to the icy, unwelcoming city of Windhelm. They bypass the Argonian assemblage and the Beggar's Corner, heading instead to the Grey Quarter. Here, amidst the open resentment and the smell of ash yams, is a small shop, Sadri's used wares. Inside, fussing over a display of mismatched junk, is rank number 20, Revin Sadri. Revin is a Dunmer, and he is the very picture of a prim, slightly fussy shopkeeper. He is polite, his voice is mild, and he seems genuinely dedicated to his small business. He's a stark contrast to the grim city around him. He is, in a word, respectable, or so it seems. Core in-game fact: Revin's quest, that was always there, shatters this illusion of respectability. He has a problem. A snooping Nord woman named Viola Giordano. He complains that she is harassing him, convinced he's a thief, and his solution is not to file a complaint with the guards. His solution is to ask the Dragonborn, a complete stranger, to frame her for theft. He produces a gold ring, which he claims is stolen. It's actually his own, and asks the hero to plant it in her house. To marry Revan, the Dragonborn must agree to this petty, underhanded, and frankly bizarre criminal act. You cannot expose him to Viola. You must, in fact, do the crime. The Dragonborn, who by this point has mediated a civil war and slain a god king, is now being asked to participate in a bitter neighborhood dispute by planting fake evidence. They do it, perhaps out of sheer bewildered curiosity. Upon their return, Revan is delighted. He's so pleased with this act of petty vengeance that when he sees the amulet of Mara, he is immediately smitten. Marrying Revan is marrying a man who looks like a librarian but has the moral compass of a high school bully. Obscure lore tidbit. His shop, Sadri's Used Wares, is a perfect reflection of his character. It seems like a simple second-hand store, but the quest reveals the truth. He's not just a diligent merchant, he's a participant in the shadow economy of Windhelm. His rivalry with Viola Giordano is a microcosm of the entire city's tension. Viola is from the Icefane family, an old, established Nord line. Revan is a Dunmer, an outsider, a refugee. His shop is in the Grey Quarter. His method of dealing with a snooping Nord isn't to go to the Nord guards, who he knows will side with Viola. It's to use the tools available to him, deceit and subterfuge. He is a diligent apprentice to the game of survival in a hostile city. Fan community debate. Is Revan Sadri a cute, fussy shop boy whose criminal request is a hilarious, quirky character trait, or is he a genuinely nasty piece of work? The community is split. Some find his prim and proper demeanor a delightful contrast to his dark request. Others see him as a symbol of passive aggression, a petty, vindictive man who will smile at you while asking you to ruin a woman's life over a personal grudge. Leaving Revan to his carefully curated shelves of used goods, the Dragonborn wanders into the main marketplace of Windhelm. The air is slightly cleaner here, in the white section of town. They are drawn to the sign of the mortar and pestle, the white file. Inside they find a very different kind of apprentice. This is rank number 19, Quintus Navali. Quintus is an Imperial, and he is the long-suffering assistant to the shop's owner, the ancient, brilliant, and spectacularly rude Altmer alchemist, Narration. Where Revan Sadri is fussy, Quintus is stressed. He is a young man trapped between his passion for alchemy and the tyrannical demands of his half-mad, dying mentor. Core in-game fact. Quintus's path to marriage is one of the longest and most involved in the game. It is tied entirely to his master's quest, the White File and its sequel, Repairing the File. The Dragonborn must first travel to a dangerous, ancient ruin to retrieve the legendary and broken file for Narration. This alone is a significant dungeon delve. Later, Narration will be on his deathbed, and Quintus, in a panic, will beg the Dragonborn to find the 3 rare ingredients needed to finally repair the artifact. Unmelting snow from the throat of the world, the tusk of a mammoth, and a briar heart. The Dragonborn must become a true adventurer, hunting down these mythic components. Upon their return, Quintus performs the final acts of alchemy. The file is restored. Narration, seeing his life's work complete, passes away, or in some tellings, just dies of shock. And Quintus inherits everything: the shop, the legacy, and the legendary artifact. He is no longer a stressed apprentice. He is a master alchemist, and one of the most eligible bachelors in Skyrim. His gratitude to the Dragonborn is immense, and a proposal, should the amulet be worn, is a natural, heartfelt conclusion to their shared journey. Obscure lore tidbit. The file itself is the true prize here. It is an artifact of legend, said to have been made from the unmelting snow of the throat of the world, and its water mingled with the heavens. It is a bottomless bottle, refilling itself with a potion of the user's choice every day. Marrying Quintus means marrying the man who controls this powerful, unique artifact. He's not just a shopkeeper, he's the guardian of a piece of divine magic. Fanned community debate. Quintus is often overshadowed by his spectacular quest and his monstrously rude mentor. The debate rarely centers on Quintus himself, who is almost universally seen as that nice, stressed alchemist guy. The real debate is about Narration. Is Narration a tragic, driven genius, a high elf Indiana Jones whose rudeness is a simple quirk? Or is he an abusive, ungrateful tyrant who treats his only friend and apprentice like dirt, only to die without a single word of thanks? Marrying Quintus feels, in many ways, like freeing him from a toxic work environment. The Dragonborn considers these two men, the petty criminal who hides behind a veneer of diligence, and the true apprentice who, through your help, inherits a legacy. Both are a world away from the brutes of Morthal and the miners of Markarth. They are men of substance, even if that substance is, in Revan's case, slightly toxic. The Dragonborn stands in the alchemical serenity of the white phial, the shop now quiet, its new master, Quintus, finally at peace. The journey through the ambitious and the criminal has been informative. Revan Sudri, the petty schemer, Quintus Navali, the inheritor of a legacy. But as the hero looks at the strange glowing bottle, they feel a pull towards something different. They have sampled the breadth of human mediocrity. Perhaps it is time to look beyond the realms of men. The earnestness of Scout's many marshes comes to mind, a reminder of the beast folk of Tamriel. This thought, this desire for something truly unique, sends them back to the damp, misty camp of Darkwater Crossing. But the man they seek, rank number 18, Derkeithus, is not there. The Dragonborn asks around. Sunders Drenim, the nervous foreman, mentions him. The other miners, Hrefna and Tormar, confirm it. He's a fisherman, an Argonian, and he's missing. He went to Darkwater Pass, a known cave, and hasn't returned. The Dragonborn, for whom a missing persons case is a light warm-up, heads to the cave. The air at the cave mouth is foul, thick with the smell of damp stone, charnel pits, and the acrid tang of Chora's venom. This is a farmer hive. The hero descends, their blade a whisper in the dark. The blind, chittering creatures of the deep emerge, their pale skin and empty sockets, a grotesque mockery of elven kind. They are dispatched with a grim efficiency. The Dragonborn moves through the tunnels, the sounds of suffering echoing from a deeper chamber, and there, huddled in a crude cage, is Derkeithus. Core in-game fact: Derkeithus is the only male Argonian follower, and thus the only Argonian husband available in the entire game. His quest is a simple rescue. The Dragonborn must find him in the depths of Darkwater Pass, free him from his Falmer captors, and escort him to safety. He is, understandably, immensely grateful. He's not a warrior, he's a fisherman who was in the wrong place at the wrong time. He is, however, marked as essential, meaning he cannot be killed, which turns his escort into a slightly less tense affair. He is overjoyed to be freed. "I thought I was going to be Falmer food for sure," he exclaims, his voice retaining a surprising level of upbeat cheer for a man who was moments away from being turned into a Chorus egg omelette. Upon reaching the sunlight, his gratitude is boundless. He sees the amulet of Mara, and his proposal is one of pure life-debt relief. "You saved me. I'll follow you anywhere," and he means it. That, unfortunately, is the problem. Fan community debate, the entire community discussion around Derkeithus, can be summarized in one word: buggy. He is, without question, one of the most mechanically broken NPCs in the game. His AI pathfinding is a legend of ineptitude. If the Dragonborn marries him, he is supposed to move into their home. What he actually does is anyone's guess. He may show up. He may decide to walk there from Darkwater Pass, a journey that could see him get stuck on a pebble near Ivarstead for 3 months. He may vanish entirely. If dismissed as a follower, He will not return home. He will attempt to return to his cage in Darkwater Pass. Marrying Derkeithus is not a partnership. It is a permanent, long-distance, profoundly frustrating escort quest. He is the husband who will, without fail, get lost on his way back from the general store. Obscure lore tidbit. The most remarkable thing about Derkeithus is not his buggy nature, but his social standing before his capture. He is an Argonian living in a primarily Nord-run mining camp, and everyone likes him. He isn't relegated to the docks like in Windhelm. He isn't an outcast. The miners, Saunders and Hrefner, speak of him with genuine warmth and concern. This is an incredibly rare example of a truly integrated Argonian in Skyrim, living a normal life among Nords, free of the systemic oppression seen in the larger cities. He's not a revolutionary or a victim. He's just Derkeithus, the local fisherman. The Dragonborn, after perhaps spending 3 in-game days trying to get Derkeithus to simply enter Lakeview Manor, gives up. The unique, reptilian charm is worn thin by the sheer, overwhelming frustration of his technical existence. The hero needs stability. They need a warrior. They need someone who knows how to walk in a straight line. This desire for simple competence leads them back to the one place built on it, Jarvis. Gav already dismissed the oafish Torvar, but there are other options. In the mead hall, or perhaps sparring in the yard, is rank number 17, Athis. Athis is a Dunmer. He is a member of the Companions, and he is competent. He is a warrior, pure and simple. He's not a drunk. He's not a philosopher. He is a professional. He carries himself with that inherent Dunmery confidence, a mild, almost imperceptible arrogance that comes from a people who believe they are, by and large, superior to the rough-hewn Nords around them. Core in-game fact: like the other companions, Athis is only available for marriage after the Dragonborn has completed the guild's main quest line and become the Harbinger. He is a skilled follower, specializing in one-handed combat, and can serve as a trainer in that skill, raising it up to level 75. This makes him mechanically quite useful. The Dragonborn can essentially pay him for training, and then as his spouse, rifle through his inventory and just take the money right back. It's the most profitable, if slightly dysfunctional, marital arrangement in the game. His proposal is not one of passion, it's one of respect. The Dragonborn has proven their worth, their metzel. Athis, a true warrior, respects that strength above all else. His proposal is a practical one, a union of 2 capable fighters. As a husband, he is fine. He is perfectly, competently, and unexcitingly fine. He is the oatmeal of companion husbands. He's reliable, he's good for you, but you'll never be excited to have him. Obscure lore tidbit. Athis's very presence in Jorveska is a quiet piece of lore. Why is a Dunmer, a race Nords are, at best suspicious of, a ranking member of the most culturally significant Nord Warriors Guild? It's a testament to the fact that the Companions, at least in the modern era, are a true meritocracy. They don't care for the racial politics of Windhelm. But more than that, Athis represents the martial traditions of the Dunmer. While many think of them as mages or assassins, the great house Redoran in Morrowind is a culture of elite, heavy infantry warriors. Athis is likely a product of this tradition, a Dunmer who left his ash-ridden homeland to test his blade, and found a home among the only Nords in Skyrim who would judge him by his skill alone. Fan community debate. The primary debate surrounding Athis is, does anyone really marry Athis? He is the forgotten companion. He is utterly and completely overshadowed by the guild's more famous members, specifically the Wolf Twins, Farkas and Vilkas. He is, alongside Nijada Stonearm, often relegated to the B team of Jorves. He's a solid, sensible, slightly sharp-tongued choice for a Dragonborn who wants a Dunmer husband without the criminal record of Revin or the labor-class anxieties of Saunders, but he just lacks presence. The Dragonborn looks at Athis. He is stable, he is skilled, he is not buggy. After the nightmare of Derkeithus, that is perhaps
the single most attractive quality a man can have. The Dragonborn stands in the courtyard of Jorovska, the sounds of sparring and mead-fueled boasting echoing from the hall. This was a choice, a sensible, sharp-edged, and ultimately uninspiring choice. The Dragonborn had rescued the buggy Argonian, and they had allied with the competent Dunmer. The hero's quest for a partner had moved beyond simple survival or shared professions. They were now seeking specialists, men who were not just defined by what they were, a warrior, a miner, but by a unique driving passion, a calling that set them apart from the rank and file of Skyrim. This desire for specialization leads them, as it so often does, to the wind-swept, isolated cliffs of Winterhold. They cross the dizzying bridge to the College of Winterhold, the air crackling with raw magicka and the scent of ancient dusty tomes. And here, in the Hall of Attainment, or perhaps studying nervously in the Arcaneum, they find rank number 16, Onmund. Onmund is a Nord, which immediately makes him an anomaly in this elven-dominated institution. He is not a swaggering warrior, he is a thoughtful, slightly anxious, and deeply intelligent apprentice. He is a man caught between two worlds, his Nord heritage and his magical calling, and he is comfortable in neither. He is, in short, a classic niche pick. Core in-game fact: Onmund's quest, Onmund's request, is a perfect summary of his entire character. He tells the Dragonborn that his family, who are traditional Nords, deeply disapprove of his magical studies. In a moment of weakness, he traded his valuable sentimental family amulet to the shifty college broker, Enthea, in exchange for a staff. He now regrets it deeply. He asks the Dragonborn not to fight, but to negotiate. The hero must track down Enthea, who in typical fashion will only return the amulet in exchange for another rare item, sending the Dragonborn off to retrieve a specific grand staff from a Draugr-infested dungeon. It is a quest about rectifying a mistake born from familial shame. Upon returning the amulet, Onmund's gratitude is different. It's not the explosive relief of a man saved from Falmer. It's the deep, quiet gratitude of a man who has been understood. The Dragonborn, a figure who also walks between worlds, has helped him reclaim a piece of his identity. He sees the amulet of Mara, and his proposal is one of the most genuine in the game. A shy, heartfelt offer from one outcast to another. Obscure lore tidbit: Onmund's dilemma is a living representation of the Nord's broken relationship with magic. His family's prejudice is the modern Nord standard, associating magic with elves, weakness, and the great collapse that destroyed Winterhold. And yet, the ancient Nords, the Atmorans, were master mages. The legendary Wensgrimor, the founder of the Companions, wielded the enchanted axe Wuthrad. The dragon priests were Nords of immense magical power. Onmund is not an aberration. He is an echo of his people's forgotten true heritage. His family's rejection of him is a symbol of how far the Nords have fallen from their own history. Fan community debate: is Onmund a sweet, sensitive, and refreshingly intellectual Nord partner? Or is he, as some players call him, a wet blanket? He is one of the very few nice guy mages in the game, a stark contrast to the arrogant Marcurio or the various psychopathic necromancers the Dragonborn usually encounters. The debate is whether his gentle, anxious nature makes him a compelling, empathetic husband or just a bit of a whiner, a project husband of a different, more emotional variety. The Dragonborn leaves Onmund to his studies, the chill air of the college seeping into their bones. He was nice, but perhaps a little too sensitive. The hero, in a fit of contrarianism, decides they need the exact opposite. They need someone gruff, practical, someone who smells of coal and iron, and who wouldn't be caught dead in a hall of attainment. This, for the fifth and hopefully final time, sends them back to the oppressive grey city of Markarth. They bypass the slums, the smelter, and the mines, heading straight for the top, Understone Keep. And here, working the prestigious forge for the Jarl himself, is rank number 15,
Moth Grobagol. Moth is an orc, but he is not like the orcs in the wilderness strongholds, bound by the strict code of Malakath. He is a city orc, a professional. He is the Jarl's personal smith, a master of his craft, and he carries himself with a quiet, gruff professionalism. He is, however, still an orc. Core in-game fact. His quest is simple, direct, and wonderfully orcish. He's working on a project for the Jarl, and he requires a very specific, very rare material. He doesn't need iron or corundum. He needs a Daedra heart. He asks the Dragonborn, as a passing adventurer, to procure one. He doesn't care how. Go slay a Dramora, go burgle a companion, go find one in a ditch. He just needs the heart for his work. It is, perhaps, the most metal fetch quest in the game. When the Dragonborn returns, heart in hand, and presumably dripping, Moth is not just grateful, he is impressed. To an orc, for whom strength is the ultimate virtue, casually procuring the heart of a powerful demonic entity is the height of courtship. It's like bringing a dozen roses, if the roses were an interdimensional demon's vital organ. He sees the amulet of Mara, and his proposal is a blunt, respectful, and slightly intimidating offer. He sees a fellow purveyor of strong things, and he approves. Obscure lore tidbit. Moth is not just a random smith, he is part of a Markarth blacksmithing dynasty. His sister Gorza Grabagol runs the public forge in the city. If the Dragonborn speaks to both, they'll find a simmering sibling rivalry. Gorza dismisses Moth as the Jarl's pampered pet, forgetting the dirt and sweat of a real forge. Moth in turn sees his own work as more refined. Marrying Moth means marrying into this family drama, and by extension, taking his side in a very specific, very orcish argument over metallurgical philosophy. Fan community debate. Moth's status as a city orc is the core of his debate. Is he the perfect civilized orc husband, a man who retains his people's strength and skill, but has shed their brutal customs, and let's be honest, their terrible living conditions? Or is he a sellout, an orc who has abandoned the code of Malakath for the comfort of a warm keep and a steady government paycheck? For players who want the orcish aesthetic without the orcish lifestyle, Moth is the perfect niche pick. The Dragonborn stands in the heat of the Jarl's forge, the Daedra heart, a cooling lump in their satchel. These two men, the sensitive Nord mage and the gruff orc smith, are worlds apart, but both are defined by their unique place in the world, their specialized skills, and their ties to powerful factions. They are a clear, definitive step above the common rabble. The Jarl's forge in Markarth is hot, the air thick with the smell of coal and the faint, otherworldly tang of the Daedra heart. Moth Grobagol was a man of singular impressive focus. Onmund, in his own way, was the same. They were specialists, men defined by their unique crafts. But as the Dragonborn sheathes their sword, they reflect on the nature of these relationships. They were all built on favors. You fix a problem, you get a husband. You retrieve an item, you get a husband. It was a barter system of affection. The hero wonders, what about a simpler arrangement? What about a partner you just buy? This thought, as practical and unromantic as a balance sheet, sets the Dragonborn on a tour of Skyrim's inns. They are in the market for a mercenary. For 500 gold, you can hire a sword arm, a companion to carry your burdens, and watch your back. It is a straightforward, professional transaction. But when that professional transaction is mixed with the divine, slightly desperate magic of the amulet of Mara, things get interesting. These are the men for whom I Like You is preceded by here's your down payment. The journey begins, as it so often does, in solitude. In the bustling winking Skiva, amidst the bards and the patrons, is rank number 14, Belrand. Belrand is a Nord, but he is not the typical mead-souling, two-handed brute. He is a spellsword. He approaches the Dragonborn with the easy confidence of a seasoned contractor. He sells himself as a jack of all trades. If you need a blade, a spell, or a distraction, I'm your man. Core in-game fact: Belrand's main claim to fame is his unique combat style. He is one of the very few followers who will actively mix magic and melee. He wields a one-handed weapon, but will also cast destruction spells like Firebolt, and most notably, summon a familiar. This spectral wolf, while not exactly a powerhouse, is an excellent distraction, flanking enemies and adding a level of chaos to any fight that Belrand is immensely proud of. To marry him, the Dragonborn must simply hire him once. That 500 septim investment is all the courtship he requires. He's seen your wallet, he's seen your amulet, and he's ready to sign a new contract. As a husband, Belrand is chatty. He is perhaps the single most talkative mercenary. He has a vast library of location-specific comments, witty asides, and general observations. He's the dad of the mercenary trio. He's not just a blank slate warrior. He's a man with opinions on the weather, on the cave you're in, on the fact that you just absorbed a dragon's soul. For a dragonborn tired of silent, brooding followers, his constant chatter can be a welcome change. For others, it's like being trapped in a Drago crypt with a man who won't stop narrating the experience. Obscure lore tidbit: Belrand is a Nord spellsword, which, like Onmund, makes him a bit of a cultural outlier. But where Onmund is a scholar, Belrand is a practitioner. He's not interested in theory, he's interested in what works. His use of a simple spectral wolf summon, rather than a more powerful Atronak, is telling. It's a basic, practical, and reliable spell, the magical equivalent of a well-made iron sword. He represents the common man's magic, the folk magic of Skyrim that exists far outside the college's political squabbles. Feeling talked out, the Dragonborn seeks a different kind of mercenary, someone a little less voluble, someone a little more heavy. This leads them to the cold stone walls of Windhelm and the warmth of Candlehearth Hall. There, usually at a table by himself, is rank number 13, Stenvar. Stenvar is everything Belrand is not. He is a mountain of heavy armor, a specialist in two-handed weapons. He's not a jack of all trades, he is a master of one, and that is hitting things very, very hard. He is the classic, heavy-hitting Nord warrior, and he knows his worth. Core in-game fact: Stenvar is a pure powerhouse. He has high health, high stamina, and a focus on two-handed and heavy armor. He is, in short, a tank. He is designed to charge in, draw aggro, and smash everything in his path. But his true appeal is not his stats, but his personality. He is not a dull, silent brute. Stenvar is a sarcastic brute. He is world-weary, cynical, and has some of the most memorable lines of any follower. Another cave, he'll groan. I was starting to miss them. He was not, or upon entering a dwarven ruin. My cousin's been obsessed with these places. I think he's an idiot, like Belrand. Hiring him once is all it takes to unlock the marriage dialogue. He respects strength, and he respects coin. The Dragonborn, by hiring him, has demonstrated both. He's ready to settle down, and a life with the Dragonborn is a significant step up from babysitting treasure hunters in dusty tombs. He's the husband you marry for his biting sense of humor and his ability to single-handedly clear a room of Forsworn. The Dragonborn appreciates Stenvar's dry wit, but he's grizzled. He's the seasoned veteran. The hero in their quest for the perfect partner wonders, is there a happy medium? Someone with the warrior prowess of Stenvar, but perhaps a little less grumpy uncle and a little more battle-ready contemporary. This, with the magnetic pull of a black hole, drags the Dragonborn back to Markarth. They enter the Silver Blood Inn, and there, sitting with the confidence of a man who knows he's the coolest person in the room, is rank number 12, Vorstag. Vorstag is the third point of the mercenary triangle. He's a warrior, like Stenvar, but he specializes in one-handed and heavy armor. He's the young buck of the group. He's not as chatty as Belrand, nor as cynical as Stenvar. He is cool. He is the eager, competent, handsome-voiced warrior. Core in-game fact: Vorstag's primary, universally agreed upon by the fans asset is his voice. He shares a voice actor with Farkas, and it is that perfect blend of youthful Nord confidence and gravelly seriousness. His combat lines are not witty or chatty, they are grimly enthusiastic. "We'll show them," he'll shout, as he charges a Falmer. Skyrim is for the Nords. This can be awkward if the Dragonborn is in fact not a Nord. Hiring him, like the others, is a simple 500 gold transaction that immediately makes him a suitor. Fan community debate. The great mercenary debate is a cornerstone of the Skyrim spouse discussion. Who is the best? It's a three-way war. Team Belrand champions his versatility and his magic wolf puppy. Team Stenvar stands by his hilarious dialogue and his sheer unsubtle power. And Team Vorstag, well, Team Vorstag just really likes his voice. He is the strong, silent, handsome type, the one you marry for the aesthetic. He is essentially the cool choice, the one who looks and sounds the part of an adventurer's spouse, even if he has less unique dialogue than the other two. The Dragonborn looks at these three men. They are, in a word, reliable. They are the professional husbands. Their loyalty is bought and paid for, and it is, perhaps for that very reason, absolute. It's a clean, simple, and appealing arrangement. But it is still an arrangement. It's a contract, upgraded to a marriage license. The Dragonborn, having bought their loyalty, now crave something unbuyable. They crave loyalty that is sworn, loyalty that is part of a sacred, ancient oath. They are done with the free market. It is time to go see the housecarls. The Dragonborn stands in the Silver Blood Inn, the eager, handsome voice of Vorstag still echoing in their ears. The mercenaries, they were a solid professional choice. Their loyalty was a line item, purchased for 500 septims. It was clean. It was simple. But as the hero, now a Thane of multiple holds, a slayer of dragons, and a figure of legend, stands in the street, they realize they are beyond hiring help. They are given help. They are given a housecarl. This is a different tier of partner entirely. A housecarl is not a mercenary. They are a sworn protector, a warrior gifted to the Dragonborn by a Jarl as a reward for service. Their loyalty is not bought. It is oathed. They are bound to the Thane's person and property. They are, in essence, a pre-packaged companion who comes with the house, like a very heavily armed and often very gruff butler. The path to marrying a housecarl is perhaps the most convenient of all. There is no quest. There is no debt to pay, no monster to slay on their behalf. Their oath of service is so total that if the Dragonborn simply wears the amulet of Mara, the housecarl sees it as an extension of their duties. You need a protector and a spouse. I can do that. It is the pinnacle of Nordic practicality. But not all housecarls are created equal. The Dragonborn's journey through this new tier of sworn husbands begins, as it so often does, in the bitter, icy confines of Windhelm. They have purchased Hardrum, the grand, blood-stained house that was once the lair of a serial killer, and waiting inside is rank number 11, Calder. Core in-game fact: Calder is the housecarl granted to the Thane of Eastmarch. He is a Nord, a heavy armor specialist, and a man who, by all accounts, seems fine. He is a capable warrior, capped at level 50, like all housecarls. He will follow the Dragonborn, carry their burdens, and protect their home. That home, however, is Hedrim. It is a house that, even after being cleaned, still has a secret, blood-caked room full of bones and surgical tools. Calder is the man who has to live there. This may explain his personality. He is, to put it kindly, the least popular of the housecarls. His face is dominated by a set of truly unfortunate mutton chop sideburns. His voice is the generic male son archetype, making him sound bland and slightly annoyed. He is, in short, the plain one. He's the housecarl you get, look at, and then immediately tell to wait here in the middle of your creepy murder house forever. Marrying him feels less like a romance and more like a punishment for both of you. Obscure lore tidbit. Calder's very existence is tied to one of the most notoriously buggy quests in the game, Blood on the Ice. To even get the option to buy Harem and be assigned Calder, the Dragonborn must first navigate this labyrinthine, easily broken murder mystery. This mechanical frustration taints the entire experience. By the time the Dragonborn finally gets Calder, they are not relieved, they are exhausted and annoyed. He isn't a reward, he's the booby prize at the end of a nightmare. Fan community debate. The entire community debate is simply, why is Calder so blah? He is mechanically identical to other more popular housecarls, but his unfortunate face, his bland voice, and his association with the deeply unsettling Hearthfire combine to make him the forgotten man of the Thane's Guard. He is the one left behind, the one whose only purpose is to make the other housecarls look better by comparison. The Dragonborn shudders, leaving Calder to his lonely vigil in the murder mansion. They need a professional, a real professional, someone with a title, someone who looks and sounds the part of a true bodyguard. This, with a weary sigh, leads them back to Markarth. They have purchased Vlindrel Hall, the magnificent dwarven carved home, overlooking the city of stone, and inside, standing at rigid, perfect attention, is rank number 10, Argis the Bulwark. This is an immediate, obvious, and significant step up. Argis is a man. He is a Nord warrior, like Calder, but he is everything Calder is not. His face is scarred and bearded. His voice is the deep, gravelly male brute archetype, and he has a title. He is not just Argis, he is Argis the Bulwark. Core in-game fact. Argis is the housecarl for the Thane of the Reach. He is a sword and board specialist, with high skills in heavy armor, one-handed, and fittingly, block. His title isn't just for show. He is mechanically designed to be a bulwark, a wall of steel and muscle that stands between the Dragonborn and whatever is trying to kill them. He is, in short, a fantastic bodyguard. As a husband, he is the strong, silent type. He is not chatty like Belrand or witty like Stenvar. He is dutiful. He speaks in short, respectful, gravelly sentences. Thane, he will nod as you walk in. My love, he will say, with the same respectful, slightly grim tone. Marrying Argis is marrying your own personal, live-in Secret Service agent. It's a relationship built on duty, respect, and the shared understanding that he could probably wrestle a saber cat to death with his bare hands. Obscure lore tidbit. Argis is one of only 2 male housecarls available in the original vanilla version of Skyrim, the other being Calder. The base game offered 5 Thaneships, but 3 of them, Whiterun, Rift and Solitude, came with female housecarls. For players who wanted a male housecarl, their only choices were the bland, mutton-chopped Calder or the grizzled, professional Argis. This lack of options made Argis the de facto best male housecarl in the base game, a title he earned simply by not being Calder. Fan community debate. Given his badass name, great voice, and solid skills, why isn't Argis more popular? The debate often centers on his home. Vlindrel Hall is sterile. It's a magnificent feat of Dwemer engineering, all cold stone and brass, but it has all the warmth of a bank vault. Furthermore, it's in Markarth, a city of conspiracy, oppression, and Falmer. Many players simply find the location too grim, and Argis, by association, becomes the great guy in a terrible city. The Dragonborn looks at Argis, a true professional, a man who is a living, breathing shield. He and Calder are the originals. They are loyal, they are strong, but they are also a bit one-note. Their entire personality is their job, but the Dragonborn knows there are other housecarls, ones added later, ones with a little something extra. Argus stands like a statue of carved stone in Vlindrel Hall, a monument to duty, loyalty, and the color grey. He and Calder were the originals, the first line of defense. They are strong, they are sworn, but they are also, as the Dragonborn must admit, a bit static. Their personalities are soldered to their function. They are housecarls, and nothing more. But the Dragonborn knows this is not the end of the story. With the Hearthfire expansion, the Jarls of Skyrim, recognizing the Dragonborn's growing need for real estate, offered 3 new Thani ships, and with these new properties came new housecarls, men who were not just copies of the originals, but who brought flavor. The Dragonborn's journey takes them to the cold, stark port of Dawnstar. The city itself is a miserable collection of huts, plagued by perpetual nightmares. But upon becoming Thane of the Pale, the hero is granted a new housecarl. He awaits them at the site of their new home, Heljarchen Hall. This is rank number 9, Gregor. At first glance, Gregor is familiar. He's a Nord warrior. He's clad in heavy, scaled armor. He has the same deep, male brute voice as Argus the Bulwark and Vorstag the Mercenary. The Dragonborn braces for another grim, silent sentinel, and then Gregor speaks. Core in-game fact: Gregor is the nice one. He shatters the mold of the grim, dark bodyguard. He is, inexplicably, jolly. Where Argus is a wall of stoic duty, Gregor is a wall of cheerful, booming enthusiasm. His lines are famously warm. My sword and shield are yours, Thane. He'll boom. Long life to you. Or it's a fine day with you around. He's not just protecting you, he is actively rooting for you. He's your bodyguard and your biggest fan, a one-man pep squad in steel plate. Marrying him is delightful. It's like marrying a battle-hardened, heavily armed teddy bear. He follows the Dragonborn into the most lightless, horrifying crypt, and his main contribution is to shout, "Ha!" a challenge, with genuine, uncomplicated glee. He is the golden retriever of housecarls, obscure lore tidbit. The home Gregor is sworn to protect, Heljarchen Hall, is perhaps the most strategically important of the 3 Hearthfire manors. It's not tucked away in a swamp or a forest. It is built directly on the border between the Pale and Whiterun Hold, overlooking the main road. It is, essentially, a private border fortress. It is also surrounded by enemies. A giant camp is a literal stone's throw away, and bandit lairs dot the surrounding hills. Gregor's jolly demeanor is not that of a man with an easy gig. He is a man holding a critical, high-danger outpost, and he's just completely cheerfully unfazed by it. Fan community debate. The debate around Gregor is simple. Is his relentless, booming cheerfulness a welcome, heartwarming change? Or is it, after the 20th hour of adventuring, a bit grating? He is the anti-Argus. He is for the Dragonborn, who doesn't want a silent, stoic protector, but a partner, will narrate their joint victories with the enthusiasm of a sports commentator. The Dragonborn, charmed by Gregor's relentless optimism, feels their standards have been permanently raised. A housecarl can have a personality, but can they have a skill set beyond hitting things? This final question leads them to the foggy, haunted marshes of Hjalmarch. They become Tharn of Morthal, and at the site of Windstad Manor, they find a man who will break the mold completely. This is rank number 8, Valdemar. Valdemar is different. He is not a hulking brute in heavy armor. He is a Nord, yes, but he's lean, clad in lighter mail. He doesn't carry a giant greatsword. He carries a one-handed weapon, and his other hand is crackling with frost magic. Core in-game fact: Valdemar is the only housecarl in the game who is a dedicated magic user. He is a spellsword, but a far more refined one than the mercenary Belrand. He is a specialist in frost-based destruction magic, fitting for the marshes of Hjalmarch, and crucially, restoration magic. He will not only attack enemies from a distance with ice spikes,
but he will also heal himself in combat. This makes him one of the most durable, self-sufficient, and tactically valuable followers in the entire game. He is, in essence, a true battle mage. His personality matches his skill set. He doesn't have the brute voice or the generic Nord voice. He has the soft-spoken, intelligent, male commoner voice, the same as the sensitive college mage, Onmund. He is polite, thoughtful, and reserved. "It is an honor to serve as your housecarl," he says, and he sounds like he actually means it. Obscure lore tidbit: the home Valdemar is sworn to protect is, without question, the worst of the Hearthfire manors. Winstad Manor is built in the middle of a cold, ugly, undead-infested swamp. Its unique feature is a fish hatchery, meaning the entire property likely smells of fish guts and marsh gas. Worse, the manor's garden is a reclaimed graveyard. Your steward will literally comment on how they had to move the graves to plant your tundra cotton. Valdemar, this intelligent, magically gifted, polite man, is sworn to protect a stinking haunted fish shack in a bog. Fan community debate: Valdemar is wildly popular, and the debate is often whether he is in fact the single best housecarl available. His proponents point to his unrivaled combat utility, ranged magic plus healing, his polite and intellectual demeanor, and his refreshing break from the brawn over brains Nord stereotype. His detractors will argue that his voice, while pleasant, is generic, and that his home base in the swamp is so undesirable that it's not worth the effort. But for the Dragonborn who wants a husband who is both a warrior and a scholar, a man who can both cast a spell and swing a sword, Voldemar is almost perfect. The Dragonborn stands in the fog of the swamp, Voldemar's quiet, respectful greeting, a balm after Gregor's booming cheer. These two men have changed the game. The housecarl is no longer just a reward, they are a choice. The Dragonborn stands in the misty, haunted bog of Harjel March, the quiet, magical competence of Voldemar, a comforting presence. The housecarls of Hearthfire had proven that loyalty and personality could coexist. Gregor, the booming optimist; Voldemar, the reserved battle mage. They were sworn to the Dragonborn, their lives bound to the Than by an oath to a Jarl. But as the hero looks out over the swamp, they feel a limit. The housecarl's world, however pleasant, is small. It is bound to the Than's property, to the holds of Skyrim. The Dragonborn, a being of limitless potential, craves a partner with a similar spirit, not one who is given to them, but one who chooses to join them, not out of duty, but out of a shared desire for the world. They are done with men bound by oaths. They are seeking men bound by adventure. This new desire for a true world-weary equal leads them to the fringes of society, to the places where civilization's rules give way to older, harsher codes. It leads them to an orc stronghold. They travel to the harsh, rocky terrain of the Reach, not to Markarth, but to the isolated, heavily guarded camp of Dushnich Yal. The air smells of the forge, of tusk and hide, and of a militant insular culture. This is the home of Malakath's children, a place not welcoming to outsiders. But the Dragonborn is not just any outsider, and here, among the stern-faced warriors, is a man who seems out of place. He is an orc, but his eyes are on the horizon. This is rank number 7, Gorbash the Iron Hand. Gorbash is different. He is the brother of the Stronghold's chief, but he carries himself with a restless energy. He is not like the other orcs, who seem content to mine, smith, and die in Dushnich Yal. Gorbash has done the unthinkable. He has left. Core in-game fact: Gorbash is a former Imperial Legionnaire. He served his time, saw the breadth of Tamriel, and experienced life outside the rigid confines of the Code of Malakath. He came home, but he is no longer at home. He is bored, restless, and chafes under his brother's traditionalist rule. His quest is not a dungeon delve or a favor, it is an intervention. The Dragonborn, an icon of freedom and adventure, must convince him to leave. This can be done through persuasion, a bribe, or, in the truest orcish fashion, a simple, respectful fistfight, by besting him, or by appealing to his worldly nature. The Dragonborn offers him the one thing he craves, an out. He is so grateful for this liberation that he will not only become a follower, but if the amulet of Mar is worn, a husband. This proposal is perhaps the most equal of any so far. It is not a reward, it is not a transaction, it is a pact. You walk the world, and I will walk it with you. As a husband and follower, Gorbash is a dream. He's a master-level archer, capped at 90, and skilled in heavy armor and one-handed, making him a versatile and deadly combatant. He has the gruff, appealing orc voice, but his lines are not about the forge or Malakath. They are the lines of a seasoned veteran, eager for the next challenge. Lead on, he'll say. I'm right behind you. He is, in essence, the adventurous orc, the perfect blend of worldly experience and cultural strength. Obscure lore tidbit. His title, the Iron Hand, is not a traditional stronghold name. It is a legion name, a nickname earned on the field of battle among Imperials and Nords. This is profoundly significant. It means he forged an identity for himself outside of the Orcish system, a system where your name is your identity. Mothgro Bagel, son of Bagel. He is Gorbash the Iron Hand, a self-made man. This is why he cannot simply fit in back home. He has outgrown the very culture that birthed him. Fan community debate. Is Gorbash the best of all possible orcs? The debate is fierce. Mothgro Bagel is the civilized city orc, the professional smith. The various stronghold chiefs are the traditional, high-status orcs. But Gorbash is the adventurer. He is for the Dragonborn who doesn't want to be a smith's spouse or a chieftain's second wife, or first, depending on the stronghold's politics. He is for the Dragonborn who wants a true partner in arms, a man who will leave his entire world behind for the simple, thrilling promise of the horizon. The Dragonborn stands with Gorbash, the wind of the Reach whipping at their cloak. He is a warrior who has chosen adventure over his heritage. But a new thought takes root. What of a warrior who is fighting for his heritage? A man who is not running from his culture, but desperately trying to reclaim it. This thought, this final quest for a warrior of true, unyielding honor, pulls the Dragonborn across the Sea of Ghosts to the alien, ash-strewn island of Solstheim. They land at Raven Rock and travel into the frozen, hostile wilderness. They are looking for the legendary mead hall of Thirsk, and they find it occupied, but not by warriors. It has been overrun by Reeklings, the small, blue, obnoxious goblin creatures of the island, and on the cold nearby beach, huddled around a meager fire, is a group of drunken, bickering, thoroughly pathetic-looking Nords. This is the last remnant of the warriors of Thirsk, and among them is rank number 6, Halbarn Ironfur. Halbarn is a mess. He's a large, grizzled Nord, but he's a defeated Nord. He and his companions, the heroes of Thirsk, were unceremoniously kicked out of their own home by a tribe of creatures, a third of their size. They are a living embarrassment. Core in-game fact. His first quest, retaking Thirsk, is the Dragonborn's chance to end this humiliation. The Dragonborn must agree to lead this band of sad sacks in a frontal assault to reclaim their hall. It's a chaotic, desperate brawl, with the Dragonborn doing 99% of the work. But upon victory, Albarn's spirit is restored. He is a Nord with a home again. But to marry him, the work is not done. He has a second, far more demanding quest. He needs supplies to restart the forge, 15 ebony ingots, and 10 Stalarim ore. This is an enormous resource cost, one of the most expensive favors in the game, requiring the Dragonborn to be a high-level explorer. Why go to all this trouble? Because Halbarn is worth it. He is the only master-level level 90, heavy armor trainer in the entire game, who is also a marriage candidate. The Dragonborn can pay him thousands of gold for training, then, as his spouse, simply take the money back from his shop inventory.
He is a walking, talking, infinite money and skill exploit. Obscure lore tidbit. Halbarn is more than a trainer. He is one of the only smiths in Tamriel who can craft Skyrim or enchanted ice, armor and weapons. This is not a common Nord skill. It is a sacred, magical art learned from the native Skarl. The very existence of Skyrim is tied to the All-Maker, and it is not something the Skarl share lightly. The fact that Halbarn, a mainline Nord, knows this secret implies a deep, respectful integration with the local culture that goes far beyond the other Nords on the island. He is not just a warrior, he is a keeper of an ancient magical tradition. Fan community debate. The debate is simple: resource versus romance. Is Halbarn a loving husband, or an incredibly useful piece of game furniture? He's grizzled, he's a bit of a drunk, and his origin story is one of profound failure. But he's a master trainer and a Skyrim smith. For the player focused on min-maxing, he is, without question, one of the best husbands in the game. He is the ultimate fixer-upper who pays you back with interest. The Dragonborn stands on the frozen, windswept coast of Solstheim. The fires of Thirsk Hall warm at their back. Halbarn Iron Fur. He was a project that paid dividends. He was perhaps the ultimate expression of utility in a partner, a man who was a living, breathing resource, a master trainer, and a magical smith. Gorbash, in his own way, was a resource of a different kind, a resource of pure worldly adventure. But as the Dragonborn looks out at the churning icy sea, they feel a longing for something else. Not utility, not a shared quest, not a sworn oath, or a paid contract. They long for heart, for a partner who isn't defined by their function, their quest, or their combat stats, but by the simple, undeniable warmth of their personality. A partner you choose not because they are useful, but because you simply like them. This new, softer quest leads them to the very top of the list, to the men who are not just spouses, but institutions, the beloved, the fan favorites. This pilgrimage of the heart begins, as so many things do, in the rough and tumble city of Riften, but not in the shadows, in the heat. They are drawn to the sound of a hammer on steel, to the blazing heart of the city, the forge of rank number 5, Balimund. Balimund is a man. He is a Nord, a blacksmith, and the physical embodiment of the word stalwart. He is not a young, pretty boy. He is not a grizzled, cynical warrior. He is a master of his craft, his face lined with soot and good humor. He is perhaps the most stable, reassuring presence in all of Riften. He is the dad of Skyrim. Core in-game fact: Balimund's quest is one of pure, unadulterated passion for his craft. His forge, he explains, is his lifeblood, but it's not burning as hot as it used to. He needs a special ingredient to restore its magical flame. He needs 10 fire salts. This is not a trivial request. Fire salts are a rare, dangerous alchemical ingredient, harvested from the exploding bodies of flame Atronax. The Dragonborn must go to war with the plains of Oblivion, just to help a man fix his furnace. When the Dragonborn returns, having braved the conjured flames, Balimund's gratitude is deep and profound. You haven't just helped his business, you have saved his life's work. He sees the Amulet of Mara, and his proposal is one of the most heartwarming in the game. It's not from a boy, or a warrior. It's from a man who has built a life and is now, finally, looking for someone to share it with. Obscure lore tidbit: the true heart of Balimund's character is not his forge, it's his son. Balimund has an apprentice, Asbjorn Firetarmer. This is his adopted son. Balimund is one of the only NPCs in the entire game who is an explicitly depicted, loving single father. He found this boy, an orphan, and took him in, gave him a home, a name, and a trade. This small, crucial piece of lore recontextualizes his entire character. He is not just a smith, he is a man of deep, proven kindness. Marrying Balimund means marrying into a pre-made loving family. Fan community debate: is Ballimond the perfect husband? For a huge portion of the fan base, the answer is a resounding yes. He is the wholesome dad, the ultimate provider. He's stable, he's kind, he's skilled, and he's already a proven loving father. The debate, such as it is whether this is a bit boring. He is the safest choice in the game. He is the man you marry when you are done with adventure, and you just want to come home to a warm fire and a kind word. The Dragonborn, warmed by the sheer uncomplicated goodness of Ballimond, feels at peace, but a different, more restless energy pulls at them. The call of adventure. This leads them to a small, unassuming village on the plains of White Run Hold, Rorikstead, and in the Frostfruit Inn, they find a young man yearning for the world. This is rank number 4, Eric the Slayer. At first, he is just Eric. He is the son of the innkeeper, Mr. Olkey, and he is bursting with untapped potential. He is a farm boy who has spent his entire life reading tales of heroes, dreaming of dragons, and staring at the same boring patch of dirt. He is, in essence, the Dragonborn, before they were the Dragonborn. He is a bundle of pure, unjaded enthusiasm. Core, in-game fact. Eric's quest is simple, relatable, and pure. He wants to be an adventurer, but his cautious, overprotective father won't let him. He needs 2 things: a set of armor and his father's permission. The Dragonborn, an icon of adventure, is his only hope. The Dragonborn must first convince Mr. Olkey to let his son go, a simple persuasion check, and then pay for Eric's first set of armor. You are not just his hero, you are his sponsor. You are the one who is quite literally making his dreams come true. The moment he dons that armor, he is transformed. He is no longer Eric. He is Eric the Slayer, a name he chose for himself. He is so overcome with gratitude and hero worship that a proposal, should the amulet be worn, is the most natural thing in the world. He's not just marrying the Dragonborn, he's marrying the adventure you represent. Obscure lore tidbit. This is perhaps the most famous and touching piece of Skyrim lore. Eric the Slayer was a real person. He was a fan named Eric West, who was given a tour of Bethesda's studios via the Make-A-Wish Foundation. He was so enthusiastic and knowledgeable about Oblivion that the developers decided to immortalize him in Skyrim as his own NPC, Eric the Slayer. Tragically, Eric West passed away from cancer months before Skyrim was released, never getting to see his digital self in the final game. This fact changes him from a character into a memorial. He is the living adventurous spirit of a fan who never got to go on his own adventure. Fan community debate. The debate around Eric is one of pure good-natured affection. Is he the sweet, naive cinnamon roll of husbands, the little brother character you take on an adventure to show him the ropes? Or is he, with his endless, wide-eyed enthusiasm, a bit much? He is the ultimate feel-good choice, a partner you choose not for strength, but for the sheer joy of his company. The Dragonborn leaves Eric to his dreams, a bittersweet warmth in their chest. Ballimond was the father, Eric was the son, but the Dragonborn is neither. They are a hero, a professional, and they deserve a partner who is in their own way just as legendary. This leads them, one last time, to Riften, not to the Forge, not to the Shadows, but to the Bee and Barb. And there, with an air of profound self-satisfaction, is rank number 3, Marcurio. Marcurio is an Imperial, and he is a mercenary. But he is not Belrand, Stenvar, or Vorstag. They were swords for hire. Marcurio is a consultant. He is an arrogant, snarky, and incredibly powerful destruction mage, and he knows it. Core in-game fact. His first line to the Dragonborn is not a plea or a boast. It is a test. So you're looking for a mage? I'm the best, you know. 500 gold. I'm worth every septim. He is, in short, an arsehole, and he is worth every septim. He is a magical powerhouse, slinging chain lightning and fireballs with a devastating efficiency. He's not just a follower, he's artillery, but his true feature is his dialogue. He is sassy. Lead on, he'll say, his voice dripping with condescension, and try not to get us both killed. If you ask him to carry your burdens, he will sigh, I am a wizard, not a pack mule. He is the only follower who will actively complain about the job. Fanned community debate. This is perhaps the most divided debate in the entire community. Is Marcurio a witty, charming, and refreshingly sassy partner who treats the Dragonborn as a slight equal? Or is he an insufferable, arrogant, and punchable windbag? There is no middle ground. You either love him or you loathe him. So, the second, more intense debate is what happens after marriage. The bad boy mage, the arrogant wizard, suddenly becomes a sweetheart. He drops the snark and replaces it with some of the most genuinely loving, sweet-talking dialogue in the game. For some, this is the ultimate reward, cracking his shell and finding the heart of gold. For others, it's a betrayal. The bad boy they married got domesticated. The Dragonborn considers these three, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Terror, three men, beloved by the community, for three completely different and completely valid reasons. The standards are now impossibly high. The Dragonborn stands in the bee and barb, the arrogant electric hum of Marcurio's magic fading from the air. The fan favorites, they are beloved for a reason. Balamund, the stable, loving father, Eric, the wide-eyed adventurous spirit, Marcurio, the sharp-witted, challenging equal. Each represents a different kind of life, a different kind of love. But as the Dragonborn looks at the amulet of Mara, its bronze form now worn and familiar, they know the journey is not quite over. There is one last destination, the one place where it all began. They travel back to Whiterun, the city of the plains. They bypass the market, ignore the shouts from the Cloud District, and walk straight to the heavy, ancient doors of Jorah. The mead hall is loud, the air thick with the scent of roasted meat, ancient wood, and the slightly wet dog smell of werewolves. This is the home of the companions, and this is the home of the top two, the final choice, the Wolf Twins. They are the poster boys of Skyrim marriage. The two most iconic, most sought after, and most debated husbands in the entire game, ranks 2 and 1, Vilkas and Farkas, core in a mafact. To even speak to these men about marriage, the Dragonborn must have walked the path of the companion. They must have joined the guild, proven their mettle, and crucially, completed the entire quest line, culminating in the cleansing of Codlac Whitemane's spirit. They are not just men. They are the reward for one of the game's most epic stories. They are both members of the elite circle. They are both at least initially werewolves, and they are both master-level trainers. Vilkas in two-handed, Farkas in heavy armor. They are, from a purely mechanical standpoint, two of the most valuable, high-level, and powerful followers a player can possibly acquire. But no one marries them for their stats. The Dragonborn enters the hall, and the two brothers are a study in contrast. They are the twin sons of the former Harbinger, Jurgen. They are the legacy of Jorah, the heirs to Ysgramor's honor, and they are night and day. At rank number 2, Vilkas. Vilkas is the smart one. He's often found reading, or quietly advising, or simply observing with a critical, appraising eye. When the Dragonborn first joins, Vilkas is the sharp-edged, sarcastic, and almost hostile one. He is the skeptic. He is the one who, as Codlac says, has the fire of Ysgramor, but it is a fire that burns with pride and a rigid, unyielding sense of honor. He is, to put it plainly, a bit of a jerk, and that is precisely his appeal. Marrying Vilkas is marrying a project, but not a fixer-upper like Roggi or Omlog. Vilkas is not a man to be fixed. He is a man to be earned. The Dragonborn must prove through blood and deed, that they are not just another whelp, but a true shield brother, a true harbinger. His character arc is one of the game's most profound. He is the one who most despises the beast blood, not from fear, but from shame. He believes it is a stain on the companion's honor, a secret sickness that defiles their legacy. The true turning point is the death of Kodlak. While Farkas grieves with a simple animal sadness, Vilkas breaks. He is consumed by guilt, by the rage of his own failure to protect their leader. He is the one who apologizes to the Dragonborn, his voice, usually so full of arrogant steel, now cracked with genuine remorse. This is the moment the Dragonborn sees the man beneath the sharp edges. As a husband, he is the reformed bad boy. He is the Tundra of Skyrim. His dialogue is less about fawning adoration and more about a deep, grudging, and therefore all the more powerful respect. He is the partner who will challenge the Dragonborn, who will keep them sharp. He is the intellectual, the historian, the man who carries the weight of his legacy, and who has chosen you to help him bear it. Obscure lore tidbit. The names of the twins are not subtle. Vilkas is the Lithuanian word for wolf, but the real lore is their lineage. The in-game book, Great Harbingers, is written by Vilkas himself. He is not just a warrior, he is the historian and archivist of the companions. This recontextualizes his entire personality. He's not just mean, he's an academic, a traditionalist, a man who sees the Dragonborn as a chaotic element, disrupting a 5,000-year-old institution. His eventual acceptance is not just personal, it's a scholarly one, and that leaves rank number 1. The Dragonborn turns from Vilkas, the complex, brooding intellectual, and looks at his brother, at the man leaning against a pillar, his face open, his demeanor simple, the man who, when you first met, greeted you with a simple, "Welcome to Jor of Skur." This is Farkas. Farkas is the dumb one. He is the muscle. He is, as his own brother lovingly says, all brawn, and well, that's it. He is simple. He is straightforward. He is the himbo. He is, without question, the best husband in Skyrim. Where Vilkas is a man of the mind, Farkas is a man of the heart. His journey is not one of intellectual pride or shame. It is one of pure, simple feeling. He does not hate the beast blood because it's a stain on their honor. He hates it because it scares him. In one of the most honest, vulnerable moments in the game, he admits to the Dragonborn, "I don't like it. When I'm like that, I'm not me. I'm just angry. And I don't like being angry." There is no pretense. There is no arrogance. There is just a good, simple man admitting he is afraid. Marrying Farkas is the antithesis of marrying Vilkas. You are not earning a complex partner. You are protecting a kind one. He is not a project. He is a comfort. As a husband, he is pure, unfiltered, uncomplicated affection. He is the golden retriever in a werewolf's body. He will call the Dragonborn my love, with a warmth that feels like it could light a forge. He will follow you to the ends of Tamriel, a loyal, terrifying, and utterly devoted wall of muscle. He is the man who will punch a dragon priest into dust, and then turn around and ask, "Are you okay?" Obscure lore tidbit. His name, Farkas, is the Hungarian word for wolf. Again, the developers were not aiming for subtlety. The true lore is his rank. This dumb jock, this simple brute, is the master-level trainer in heavy armor. He is not dumb, he is specialized. He has dedicated his entire life to one singular craft, and has achieved a level of mastery that Vilkas, for all his reading, has not. He is a genius of a different kind. He is a kinesthetic genius, a man who understands battle and steel on a level that is beyond intellect. Fan community debate. This is the debate. The eternal war. Vilkas versus Farkas. The brain versus the brawn. The smart, mean one versus the dumb, nice one.
Cheat.
The choice defines the Dragonborn's preferences. Do you want a partner who will challenge you, or a partner who will adore you? Do you want the complex, intellectual, sharp-edged romance, or do you want the simple, warm, and profoundly kind one? For us, the choice is clear.
Cheat.
In a world of ice and stone, of civil war and ancient soul-eating dragons, of backstabbing jarls and Daedric plots, complexity is easy, cruelty is common. Coming home to Vilkas is coming home to another challenge, but coming home to Farkas is coming home to peace.
Cheat.
It is coming home to a man whose entire world is simply and purely you. He is the warm hearth at the end of the world, and that is the ultimate and truest victory in Skyrim. And so, the amulet of Mara finally finds its rest, its bronze surface warm against the Dragonborn's chest. The long quest is over. From the drunken beggars of Windhelm to the legendary heroes of Jorvaska, the path has been long. It has been a journey through every facet of love, from the desperate and the convenient to the practical and the profound. The taverns have been visited, the debts paid, the monsters slain, and the hearts, in their own strange mechanical way, have been won. The Dragonborn sits by the great fire in Jorvaska, their partner by their side, or perhaps they are in a quiet, isolated manor in the swamp, the only sound the soft crackle of magic, or maybe they are in a warm, soot-stained smithy in Riften, the sound of a hammer, the only lullaby they need. The choice is made. The world, for a moment, is quiet. The dragons are silent in the skies. The war is a distant, muffled drum. There is only the warmth of the fire, the safety of the walls, and the steady, breathing presence of the one who chose to share it all. The journey is done. Now you can finally rest.